what's the biggest lesson that life has taught you? And intense kayo siya nga question, okay? What is the biggest lesson Judain that life has taught you? But I think, so hey guys, hi everyone! Welcome to another video here on my channel. And for this video, I think we're gonna cut a bit from all the beauty stuff, all my beauty tips that I've shared, the products that I enjoy using. I think we're a bit done with that already, and how to feel good about yourself from the outside. I think it's about time I also get to share with you guys how I feel good about myself even without all of these things, because I also think that's one important aspect that I want to share in this channel, that it's not all about just beauty or fun or having all of these things to accumulate, having all of these trips to go to. I think that's not entirely what I want to, share with you guys. That I love doing those. I would love to do more of that with all of you, but I also want my channel to be a place where we can share and have conversations about, the meaning of life. Seriously, I just want to be somebody that you can talk to, or somebody that you can get advice from, because I want to be there for other people. I might not be able to be there physically or personally for all of you, but if I can help somebody out there, encourage someone with my words, and be able to inspire others with the stories or the testimonies that I have based on my experiences, on what I've learned and what I've been through, if I can use that to encourage other people out there and to show them how you can do it, you can go through it, I'm willing to do that, and I am very much willing to use this channel for that purpose. And our daily struggles, we all go through a lot of things, and sometimes it's just hard to find where to vent that out, and maybe I can be here for you guys. So expect more about that here on my channel. I'm probably gonna do a separate playlist for that, and yeah, I hope you guys could also reach out, because I'm here for you guys. So I'm gonna answer some of the questions that you've sent in on my Instagram stories. I posted that like a few days ago, and I'm gonna answer some of the questions which I feel I'm ready to answer. Okay, so first question is, what's the biggest lesson that life has taught you? And intense kayo siya nga question, okay? What is the biggest lesson, Judain, that life has taught you? But I think for the past years, after going through several seasons of just trials, and I would say like waiting, seasons of pain and loss, seasons of makapil gyud ka nga, wow Lord, danay jud, danay kusog kanang ana gani. But I think throughout all of those experiences, the biggest lesson that I got is, do not waste your suffering. As long as you're alive, you'll never run out of problems. You'll never run out of things to overcome, because this is earth. We're not yet in heaven, so as long as we're still here, there will be pain, there will be crying, there will be all of those things. But do not waste your suffering, because that is the best time for you to savor God's presence in your life. That is the best time to actually see who God is, because we can learn about Him, we can read about Him in other stories, we can hear about Him from other people. But we almost lost, well, I lost my dad, we almost lost, personal things, financially. There were times that you will be tried and tested, but throughout all of that, I feel like I've known God most when I was going through the worst times of my life. That's when I knew how mighty He really is, how faithful He really is, that's when I really knew and I can attest that He is who He says He is. In every circumstance, in everything, just trust and have faith in the Lord, because He will be every single time He will be as faithful as He said He would be. And you will be amazed by just how true that is. Not that I want you to suffer, but if ever you are suffering, I want you to feel the love, the embrace, the savoring feeling that I got when it was just me and God left. Next question is, how are you able to trust a person other than family and yourself? For example, like your boyfriend and group mates. Wow. I have a feeling this is something about love, or you're having a hard time trusting a person again after being, maybe you've been hurt, maybe you've had an experience with betrayal, or I don't know. Okay, so I used to be somebody who would easily trust other people simply because I believe in the good of everybody. But then, real life taught me that friends can betray you, family can leave you, your loved ones can hurt you, and even someone you've treated so special can just wake up and say nothing and just like leave you hanging. And I've been through that. I've also put my trust in people whom I realize now were not deserving of that trust. But then, as long as we're here in this world, we will never run out of people who would hurt us. There will always be those difficult people we would encounter, no matter how good we are, no matter how good our intentions are, they will come. So, how am I able to trust a person? I think, first, I trust on my intuition. Like, I just get a gut feeling that this person does not seem genuine, or this person is somehow not being really open with me. Like, pretentious. I have an intuition for that, but I think for you to build on your intuition or your gut feeling, you really need to be guided also, because your feelings can be misled. I mean, your emotions can also be wrong. And I also have a few cues that I use to, check a person if is it worth being a friend to this person, is it worth opening up to this person. So first I look at body language. You can look up on that, because I've once had this book that I just randomly read it. So it was about like body language, what it means if this person is doing this and that, and I've been using that actually when I'm dealing with other people. So not that I'm judging you based on your body language, but it can say so much about how a person is feeling while they are around you, and how a person is communicating even without words. And okay, so another thing also is take cues from their words or their thoughts. What do they usually talk about? Does that person talk about people more than they talk about meaningful things? Another way that I screen somebody if a person is trustworthy is also, just asking around from other people. Hey, what do you think about this person? We've been hanging out a lot, and I wonder if you have any idea how he is with other people, and maybe you can get a thing or two from that. And don't be judgmental immediately when you hear like a bad story about that person, because you never really know the backstory or why he did that. But that can give you like an idea of what you're dealing with, and the person you are going out with or hanging out with. You can have an idea of like, oh, nana di siya when that kind of situation arises, or that's how he decides. And I think you can tell much about a person when they're undergoing something, a stressful situation. You can really tell a person's character when something bad happens or something does not go according to plan, you can really tell if he's somebody that's rude or mean, or if he's somebody that's patient and kind. Not nga imong stress, but if you can hang out and something bad happens, try to observe how they react to situations. That's also one thing. Nga akong basis if somebody is, kind as how they say they are or how they act when they're around me. Because those things are surprise man ha. So, mugawas jud imong true character. And I think also one thing, you need to ask advice from people that you already trust. People that you've already built your trust throughout the years. You ask them how they feel about a certain person because they will also get a gut feeling about that person's trustworthiness. Because I just feel like that's what I do when I have new friends or new people in my life. I ask, my sisters or my mom, because they're people that I certainly trust, and when they feel like I have a bad feeling about this person, or they say that something about him is off, so you need also to assess where that gut feeling is coming from, because motherhood knows best. That's what I think sometimes. She was never wrong about the people that I've introduced to her and the people that I've let her meet. She always says, I don't know, he's okay, but something still does not feel right. And the same with my sisters. So I think that's also how you can know if a person is trustworthy. You also allow them to spend time with people that you trust already, like label naging nga trusted na ni siya nga person, like your closest friend, and let them assess for you. So last question I think that I'm gonna answer is, how do you balance career and love life? Wow, so it's almost Valentine's month. It's love month for February. Okay, how do I balance career and love life? I think first thing really is you need to have someone who is as driven as you, someone who also appreciates what a career means, and someone who also has that in mind for himself or herself. Someone who understands how important it is for you to pursue your dreams, your passion, to have this certain job, and who will not just let you settle simply because for the sake of us, or you need to keep us together, so you have to stay here, stick to this job, and avoid whatever that is that you're dreaming. You have to. I personally do not agree to that, because if you love somebody, your happiness is to see them grow, is to see them become stronger, wiser, to see them be better versions of themselves. And I think that's true love. It's not so much about just being together and being selfish about spending time together, because, well, not that it's not important to spend time with each other, but I think you need to let the person grow. You need to let the person have time to be his or her own, to have an identity for himself. So before we even talk about balancing career and love life, first thing is, like, a prerequisite is find a partner that is as secure as you are, that won't need to be validated by your presence, or he doesn't feel like his security is focused on whether you're around him or not. He also has to be someone who is living by the same standards that I'm living, which is living in the standards of God's Word. And through that, if you have the same standards, the same criteria to how you're gonna live your life, to how you're gonna deal with each other, then you will not have problems, you will not have arguments, because you have the same standards. If you want to balance your career and love life, given that you have a supportive boyfriend or girlfriend, first you need to decide and commit on a common time and routine, because, if you're busy chasing a career, you will be busy. And both of you will be busy, and it might be hard to have a common time to catch up on each other. So I think you need to decide, both of you, on what your common time and routine would be. So it could be like whatever is comfortable with both of you, like maybe Sunday night, or spend time. You need to make sure that 5 to 7 p.m. every day, that's your time together. And you really need to commit, because you need to have an understanding between the two of you that not committing to this common time and routine that we have would mean that you're not giving importance to us. And we're trying to balance things out here, right? Another thing also is, communicate, talk to each other, be open with each other, and listen to what the other person has to say. Enough with, you should be able to understand me even if I say something different from what I really mean. I mean, just try to avoid that because you're pressed for time. Be a good listener also, because it's not always about you. There's two of you in this relationship, so you need to listen if the other person has something to say, whether it's about your relationship or about his or her day. If he says, I can't deal with this right now, I'm having a problem here I have to deal with, then you share your side of the burden and do what you can to help him with that problem. And what else? I think that's how I balance career and love life so far. And I hope you guys got a little something. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you got a thing or two, and please do comment, like, and subscribe on this video. Thank you.